Good morning, good evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much for being here. I wanted to make this video because I wanted to make the connection of why Solana will have a massive impact in the Web3 ecosystem, in the world of blockchain, and to the 8 billion so people on this planet. And we're going to go over some metrics, and we're going to go over why this strategy will be successful from other successful companies that has done this in the past. Thank you for being here. My name is Simon from W3MTC. Now let's get into it. So currently, before we get started, let's just take a quick look at the market right now. So Solana is a network layer 1. Okay, it's currently at a 165, up about 3% today. In the last 24 hours, we're seeing a decrease in spot volume of now around 2.8 billion. The market did have a pullback, 86 billion in market cap, and FDV around 99 billion. So all those numbers and what does it mean? So if you're new, let's just think about it. So what is Solana? Solana is a layer 1 blockchain network that provides infrastructure for decentralized applications, emphasizing high throughput, low transaction costs, and support of LLVM compatible smart contracts. It is designed to minimize performance constraints typically faced by developers. So these are some of the Solana founders and then some of the top markets about Solana, okay? We're also going to go over some other metrics as well as to why I believe Solana will have a massive impact. And as you can see, we're going to go into the Solana Seeker and the Web3 mobile device that should be coming out this year, sometime this year. Now, why is that valuable? Why is this important? Why is this going to have a massive impact? Well, let me break it down to you right now. So the reason why it will have a massive impact is because it's the same strategy that Apple has done. So let's go through, time machine, and let's go back in the past for just a little bit. When the internet first came out, right, and everyone was wondering how this new wireless internet thing was going to work, people were using yellow pages, people were going to, had landline phones, things had to be done in person, really. There was no other way, and knowledge was kept in books or in people's heads, right? So that was really the world at that time. And then there was an innovative vision that changed the world into say, hey, we're going to create this thing called the internet, and it's going to allow us to communicate with computers, right? And everyone's like, oh, that's weird. We're going to be on computers. Well, why would you use a computer? Blah, blah, blah. So we use the computers to communicate with one another. And they were like, whoa, this is going to be helpful because we're going to put information on a computer so people can get access to information a lot faster than how we're doing it right now. And so that was successful. And as we continue to go over there and use the internet first started with Web 1. And Web 1 was just basically you can go to a web page and you can look up sports and use AOL.com and all these things. And that's about it, right? And then when Web 2.0 came out, that's when we started to transition to people being able to now add to the internet, right? Before, only businesses, corporations, people with a lot of money were the ones that were putting websites up on the internet, not regular everyday people. And then so Web 2.0 came out and businesses and companies were like, well, we need more people online, right? We need more people going to our websites. Businesses are like, we need more people going to our website so we can have more people on the internet. How can we get more people on the internet? And so the one that really we're going to use, right, which is Apple. So when Apple came out with the iPhone, they did the same strategy as with when they first started, right? So the first product that Apple came out with was the iPod. And the iPod came out, and that was a time where everyone was walking around with CD Walkmans and cassette players, tape players, right? And then so you had to walk around with all the CDs that you owned right? And like in a CD case, so you can listen to music that you like. That was the way you walked around. That's the way you had it in your book bag and stuff, right? So Apple said, hey, we need to figure out a way, meet the users where they are. How can we, provide them a solution to a problem they don't know that they have? And so that's when the iPod came out and MP3 and the digitization of music, right? So music became digital. And so that was a complete success. And then now it's like, cool, we had success with the iPod. We still need to get more people to be more interactive online. We want to see a future where people can communicate more through the internet. How can we make it easier for people to use the internet and so they can communicate? And so then the iPhone came out, right? The iPhone came out, was one of the first touch screens. People were like, I don't know if we're going to use, going to get rid of the keyboards and blah, 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 touch screen, so weird. Well, we already know the success of Apple and the iPhone. And so what was that strategy? We need to provide the marketplace a solution to a problem they don't know that they have. We need to meet the users exactly where they are. So they brought a hardware product to the users to get them to go online. And what did that do to the internet? That helped create an entire ecosystem and career paths and opportunities that people didn't think would be possible, right? When the internet first came out, you wouldn't think it'd be possible to make a life creating content, right? Be an influencer, to be a YouTuber, a podcaster, right? To market on all these different social media applications. No one could foresee that future and all of the value that came from those innovative visions. And so in the beginning, that's what helped people understand how to get to the next place. And so now let's fast forward to right now. Right? So we're in a world where we are transitioning, right, through an innovative vision of the internet. And the internet now has become Web. And what does Web 3 mean? Web 3 is the solution to the problem that people don't know that they have. Because information is so vast on the internet and there's so many people in the world and there's conflicting information from very different perspectives, and with AI, there will be a time where things will need to be authenticated. Okay. The trustless system of Web3 and blockchain technology has the capability of creating authentication, can tokenize real world assets, right? You can put it on the car. You can put title company, property titles on the blockchain, right? Authenticate artwork, certificate of authenticity on the blockchain, right? Contracts, right? From lawyers, everything. You can all use Web3 in the blockchain, right? And at the same time, we have digital assets. So all of these solutions now have been created, tested, and worked on and going to be presented to the user base and to the people. But the one thing Web3 has been doing right now is that they've really just been, making everything and talking loud about it, getting everyone's attention, which is fantastic. And, the whole ecosystem of blockchain, Bitcoin, all the conferences, Token 24/9, Bitcoin conference, the digital asset summit, all these different conferences, right? Consensus, they're all talking about what they've done, what they've created, and all of these tools and how people can use it. And that's amazing. But at the same time, we have reached a point where for this to continue to grow, we need to start creating solutions to problems, right, that people don't know they have. We have to meet the user where they are. And so Solana has done probably one of the best things in this ecosystem and use this technology probably I would say one of the best ways, right? There's a lot of other use cases out there, and some of them are successful and some of them are not. But to onboard the 8 billion so people on this planet into Web3, I believe Solana is the only network that's working on that. And they started this because they're using blockchain technology exactly how it was supposed to be used, or it's supposed to be used, which is a peer-to-peer engagement, which is a world of businesses that collaborate instead of compete. It's a way to say, hey, I have a skill, you have a skill, let's put that together and actually work towards a massive goal, and let's see what we can create. And so when Solana came out in the beginning, in my earlier videos, I was telling people, hey, Solana is saying they can do like 20, 30,000 transactions per second, TPS, transactions per second. A lot of people thought that was fluff. There's no way that they can handle that. You know, Ethereum was really expensive, but let's fast forward. We already know Solana has been successful. How do we know Solana's been successful? Because of the meme coin frenzy. Yes, meme coins are rug pulls and Ponzi's and bullshit and gambling and casino, but that's not what meme coins are valuable for. Meme coins are valuable for because it verifies the reliability of the network. It tells the people that understand this technology, whoa, it can handle high throughput. It can handle a lot of transactions all at once for low transaction costs and do it successfully. And that is the value of Solana. And so with that being built, they said, well, this is just an infrastructure layer. We need to find a way to collaborate with others so they can build more the layers on top, right? And so Helium was working on the IoT network and had the Helium network, and I was, you know, one of the people that helped as part of many other people around the world that's also helped and built on Helium, on Helium. And then so when we were building out the centralized wireless network for IoT devices, it was a complete, you know, it was tough, but it was successful and it worked, and people came together and we built out an entire network for IoT devices. And then so at some point after that successful launch, there's a conversation of, hey, I wonder if we can do that with the 5G and create a 5G decentralized wireless network. And so let's fast forward just a little bit. Okay, I should have had this up already. And so Helium was successfully able to create a nationwide 5G wireless network. And so this wireless network, not only, let's just take a look at the coverage map. I want to make sure location doesn't come up right away. You know what? Don't worry about the coverage map. You can guys go check it out too. But there's 3 different plans, from free to, I believe, a $15 one and then a $30 one. I have the Helium Mobile 5G network. I also have a 5G hotspot as well. I've been testing this out. I've been using and building and working on Helium for years, and it was complete success. And so one of the best things that Helium did was that they said, we're going to, for us to expand, we need to collaborate. And they went and decided to move from their own blockchain to the Solana blockchain, which was the best thing ever, because now they were able to combine their skill sets and their community with the Solana skill sets and their community, and they were able to create an even massive community around, which is now known as DPIN, right? Helium's really the ones that front run DPIN and created that whole thing. And so DPIN came out. So now let's go. Now we're at the Solana Seeker. And why is this important? Why will it continue to have a massive impact to the Web3 world? If you haven't figured it out by now, well, I will remind you, because they're providing a solution to a problem that people don't know that they have. People that know about blockchain, that know about crypto, that know about Web3, they're still hesitant. They don't really understand it. It's not in their hands, okay? They need to go to it, right? So right now, the way all of this works is that Bitcoin and Web3 is like, hey, come to me, come to me, come to me. We created all of these cool things in our ecosystem, come to me. But that doesn't check off the box that says meet the user where they are. And Solana said, hey, well, we're going to meet the users where they are. If we really want to onboard more people into this ecosystem, we need to use a strategy that has been used many times before in the past successfully, and then recreate it for Web3. Just like Apple did with the iPhone and the iPod, creating a hardware device to meet the users where they are, to provide a solution to a problem that they don't know that they have. Solana Mobile came out with the Solana Saga in the beginning, and then the Seeker that's coming out this year. It's a Web3 mobile device that's being shipped out sometime in 2025. And let's just take a look at this video together, if I can play it. There we go. There you go. Sorry about that. All right, that was actually kind of cool. That was tight. So, listen, you're gonna have your own seed vault, right? Wallet. And it's going to be able to integrate hardware, seed vault, and mobile wallet. You got a fingerprint entry, double tap transactions, seamless interface built exclusively for the Solana Seeker. And the cool thing is why I brought up Helium is because Solana is built to interact and work with the decentralized wireless network that Helium has worked and created on. And not only, and Helium's 5G decentralized network is also backed by T-Mobile and AT&T. So if you are in an area that doesn't have Helium hotspots, the towers for AT&T or T-Mobile will just pick it up and allow you to have coverage. Like I said, I've been testing out this network. The network works fine. The phone works great. I haven't had any issues so far, and I've been traveling around using the Helium phone and the Helium plan, and it's working. It's working great. So that's a check mark. The second check mark is, what did Apple also do, right? They created an app store. They said, well, let's give our users something to do with this new phone, right? Let's give them a solution to a problem they don't know they have. Oh, you got this cool new smartphone, but what can I do with it, right? So they came out with an app store to help people learn the tools and learn ways of how to use this new device. And so now Solana has the dApp store, right? dApp stands for a decentralized application. What does a decentralized application mean? It's basically a website that allows you to connect to the blockchain using your wallet. But if you want to understand about wallets and wallet security and how to set up a wallet, I did create a video earlier on this channel. You can go check it out, and then it will go through a step-by-step process of understanding wallets and everything about that. So this whole ecosystem in your pocket, right? You're going to have payments, decentralized finance, so you can do like yield farming, DePIN for all different hardware type of physical infrastructure network things, right? We got NFTs, gaming. There's going to be so much more. And here are some of the dApps that's already available on Solana that's doing successful. Phantom, right, with the Phantom wallet. I made a video about that as well, how to use the Phantom wallet and get that set up. We see here we have Helium Mobile, right? Hive Mapper is another DePIN project, right? Magic Eden, a place to do NFTs, right? Audius for decentralized music for artists. That's a great platform. I've been testing that out as well. And then there's just so much more that's going on. And then so the cool thing about this is, like, if you pre-order the Solana Seeker, there's going to be a Genesis token, some rewards. Now, we can go over hardware and all that at a later date, but if you are interested, go to solanamobile.com. But I did want to share some of these metrics with you. Let's go take a look at the Solana the networks right now. Right now we have a transaction fees about 52 million, up 60% in the last 30 days. Total transactions 13% billion for the last 30 days. Average daily active addresses at 3.7 million, up 5%, and then total contract calls up 15% in the last 30 days. Right? There's a lot of action going on right now on Solana. There's something going on. And so let's also